What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another one of my videos, and in this video we're going over MyLeague Week 9 matchups and Week 8 results and what's going on in MyLeague. So let's get into it. First up, we're going to go over Week 8 results. So in my matchup, I defeated Team Stewart 7-2. Before I get into that though, this is the first week where we didn't have a bunch of 5-4 results. This is the first week where we only have one 5-4 result, and it was actually a really big game. So a lot has changed in this in the standings after this past week. So again, I won 7-2 against Team Stewart, which is huge. We were both in first place in our respective divisions, and basically what I noticed with Team Stewart is his roster got hit hard with some injuries, and his waiver wire pickups just weren't. They didn't work out for him from this past week. So he had a really off week, and it was just a tough week for him. Luckily, I got the matchup, so it worked out really well. It benefited me really well, as I have the best record in the league, but just barely. I mean, as you can see, Stewart and Meta World Peace are right there with me. And anyway, with this matchup, everything was basically won except for turnovers. My team turned the ball over so much on Sunday. I really tried to go after those rebounds. I was debating on whether or not I wanted to sit players like Garland and Jared Allen and Frank Kaminsky. And it would have been better for me to have sat a couple of guys. But even though I won steals, it came down to the final day, and blocks were relatively close as well. So I'm kind of glad I played my guys. It worked out. Even though I didn't win rebounds, I missed it by 3. I still got my 7-2 victory, but I tried to pull. I was closer to free throw percentage going into Saturday's game. So Jared Allen went 8 for 15, which really hurt me. So that went out the window, and then the rebounds. It was just either or. I didn't get it done. But anyway, I came out with a solid 7-2 victory, so I was happy about that, and it helps me maintain my lead against Rick in the standings, which he ended up winning his matchup against Meta World Peace. So both Rick and I, who are in the odds divisions, who are first and second, we both picked up big wins, so it was huge for us, while Team Stewart and Meta World Peace are the first and second place teams in the evens division, so they both lost. So it's going to help everyone else in the evens division move up a bit. I'm looking right now. So Badonkadonk is the only team that actually won big. So the evens division it's going to get a lot closer. But let's go talk about Rick's matchup against Jose. So the Dame Show defeated Meta World Peace 5-4, and it looks like threes came down to the wire. Yeah, by the way, Rick's team killed it. So Rick could have won 6-3 in that regard, and it looks like Meta World Peace had he was close with blocks, so that could have gone either way. But Rick's team absolutely destroyed it this week. 85% free throw percentage, even 91 threes is really good. That's even though it's first place only had 94. So the two people had 94, I had 93. So it could have gone either way. Unfortunately, he played one of the teams that had 94. So just bad luck for him. And then, okay, he's not a good rebounding team, but he's solid. But the 254 assists in a week, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. And 52 steals is absolutely insane, too. And 31 blocks is just a solid week. 127 turnovers, that's how you know your team's doing really well. I mean, that's not a strong indicator, but you would imagine it's a decent indicator. And if you look, no one else is even close to 100. So that's how well his team performed. Maybe he had a lot of guys play. I'm not even sure about that. But 839 points also really well. So he was third. I was fourth. Okay. Anyway, moving on to so the last 3 matchups, all of them are 6-3 final. So first up, Jason defeated Team Seeper. Seeper he can't buy a break at this point. he has not had Karl Anthony Towns and Kevin Durant. Those are his first two draft picks. He was 10th overall, so he picked up KD and Cat in his first two picks. He hasn't had them for an entire week. We are through 2 months of the season, through 8 weeks. Neither player has been injured, and he hasn't had both of them for an entire week's worth of matchups. That's so crazy to me. And the cool thing about that though is like his team's going to be lethal once that does happen because he's 34-38. Like that doesn't, if you just look at the record, it's like, oh well, that's not that great. But he hasn't had one of his top two guys the entire season. When they both come in and they both begin to play, I expect Seaper's team to be one of those dark horses coming into later in the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he at least makes it to the second round of the playoffs. So anyway, going into the matchup, it looks like field goal percentage was a wash. It looks like free throws, even though that's 3%, I bet it was close because they both had a solid percentage throughout the week. Steeper just got by with the 3-point percentage. So he could have lost threes had Jason picked up a few people, a few 3-point specialists. And Jason I'm pretty sure he has the best rebounding team, and it looks like he had an off week, to be honest. He was still the tops in rebounds. 187 assists to 167, so nothing there. Seeper actually could have lost 8-1. Now that I see this as well, he barely won steals. So this could have been much worse for Seeper. And thing is, so Jason, his last 2 weeks, he had some bad losses. But now he got a big win, and now he's back above 500, and he's third in my division, the I's division. And it doesn't look like anything else was particularly close. You could argue points, especially because KD missed the whole week. I mean, I'm just telling you guys, like, Seeper, we're going to be talking about him later in the season once his team's fully healthy. It's going to be a smoke show for him. I think his team's going to be really solid down the line. All right, so next up we have is Team Best defeated Team Mark 6-3. So that's a really interesting turn of events, as Best was 9th in the division, as I said last week. If he could win 6-3 or better, he's going to put Mark, who is, I think, 6th in the playoffs. Now he's 9th. I'm pretty sure, yeah, he's last in the evens division. So I'm pretty sure he's 9th. So huge blow for Mark. I know he lost Anthony Davis. I don't know if he played the entire week, but Anthony Davis has been awful this year. This has definitely been the worst year of Anthony Davis's career by far. He's even had a better rookie season, in my opinion. And it's just a bad turn of events because he has him and Westbrook, who we didn't know going into the draft wasn't going to play back-to-backs, but that's the case. And just bad breaks. And I don't think Miles Turner did that well this past week either, who was like a cornerstone for Mark. Anyway, looking at the stats, both had a good free throw percentage. That probably was close. It ended up pretty far away, but it was likely close heading into the final day. And maybe you could have argued turnovers, which wouldn't have been in Mark's best interest. So it looks like Best just had a stranglehold on this matchup throughout the week, more or less. And maybe he could have even won turnovers had things gone just a little bit differently. And for our last matchup, Badonkadonk defeated Sinclair Saints 6-3. So if we look at him, probably put up his best free throw percentage he's going to have all season, and it was really close. He just missed a few extra shots, so it's unfortunate for him. That was really close all week, and it looks like that would be it. It looks like everything else was won. So best case scenario, Adam would have still lost 4-5. So this is big news for Badonkadonk, as he now is 500 on the year, third in the evens division. So let's take a look at the standings right now. The odds division, I'm still in first place with Rick Wright in second and Jason's in third. We're all above 500. Now, and it's kind of funny because if just a couple of weeks ago, there's only 4 people above 500. Well, now things are starting to get more even, as we have 6 teams at 500 or better. So, and Best is 1 game away from being 500. So now everything kind of flipped, Adam's been really struggling, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. He lost Drew Holiday. Giannis hasn't been that #1 player he was hoping for. And he wanted Luka, and I wish we went back because he had to download the app and he didn't know, and so it auto drafted Luka, or excuse me, it auto drafted Giannis. It would have been a lot better had Adam got who he wanted, but Luka's been playing lights out lately, so it's a really tough situation, tough turn of events, I should say. But anyway, looking back at the odds division, so I'm still in first place, and I have a nice 3.5 game lead over Rick because I won my game 7-2, my matchup, and Rick, even though he won, he only won 5-4, so I was able to put 2 games in between me and Rick. I fully expect, honestly, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting for the Dame Show to win this division, and I'm betting that I'm going to be in that. Unfortunately, I think I'm going to be the second rank heading into the playoffs. So I'm either going to be 3rd or 4th seed, which is going to be tough because Rick and I were talking about this. You want to be 1 or you want to be 4? Like, it's still, I mean, it's going to be really hard either way. I don't think you want to be 2 or 3, but that's besides the point. Jason is above 500 as he got the 6-3 victory, and he's above 500 yet again. So he's just a game back behind Rick, and maybe his team makes a push for the top spot as he's only 4.5 games behind me. And you know, he's struggling a little bit in the previous weeks, but he got a big win last week. So he's still right there in the thick of things. And so is Team Best. For as bad as Team Best, as bad as his roster has been performing, he's only 5.5 games out. That's not a lot. That's 1 really good week for him and 1 really bad week for Jason, Rick, and I. And he's right there. I mean, 5.5, it can change within 1 week. It's unlikely it would change in 1 week, but it could most certainly change in 2 weeks. Like, if he gets 2 7-2 victories, I lose 2-7 2 weeks or something like that, he'll be up like 4 games. I'll be back 4 games. So it's not a lot. It's really not. And then for Team Sinclair Saints, it's still the bottom of our division and bottom of all rankings. As if, man, I don't even know. I don't know. It looks like Seeper is the 8th seed. So he's got some work to do if he's going to get up to the 8th seed. He's about 6.5 games behind the 8th seed. Tough. It's been tough season for Adam. I don't know how he's gonna get by. Now he's got some injuries. Anyway, so talking about the evens division, we have Meta World Peace, who took the top spot over Team Seeper last week. As even though he lost, it's kind of funny. He lost 4-5, but since I defeated Stuart 7-2 and Stuart lost 2-7, Meta World Peace picked up 2 games. So he was a game back. Now he's a game in front. This is really good news for Badonkadonk as he won 6-3, so he picks up 2 games against Meta World Peace, and he picked up I don't even know. I don't know why I can't do the math. 6-3 and 2-7. I think, yeah, so he picked up 4 games? Maybe 4.5 games? I don't even no, 4 games. I think he picked up 4 games against Team Stewart. In any case, Badonkadonk is right at 500, and one more good week like last week, he could be fighting for that division, or he'll be on top of that division. So for next up, 4th is Team Seeper. Seeper, again, if I'm him, I'm just trying to get into playoffs. He's going to be a dangerous team to play against in the playoffs. You do not want to be playing Team Seeper in the playoffs. And I'm the 1st seed right now, and I'm looking at that. Seeper is 8th seed right now. If I see Team Seeper, I'm trying to lose. I'm trying not to play in the 1st round. Out of all the teams that are down there, I just would not want to play a fully healthy Seeper team. I think that's just dangerous. And for the last team in the evens division, we have Team Mark. I thought he had a really good draft, and I still feel that way. The problem is it just didn't work out the way everyone, at least the way I thought it would work out, the way some other league mates thought it would work out for him. So it's been tough breaks, and it just is what it is. But overall, we have the top 4 teams in the odds division and the top 4 teams in the evens division are the playoff teams. The 2 bottom ones right now are out of the playoffs. But I mean, that could change. Like in this, it doesn't matter what division you're in that regard. We could have two people in either division miss the playoffs. I just want to make that clear. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I wish there was a way I could change that because I think it'd be cool just to focus on your division and be like, all right, you got to make sure you're not only have a decent record, but you can't be last in your division. I think that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, going into our trade block, nothing's changed from last week, more or less. Skylar's still looking to add at the point guard position. Jose's still looking to add at the point guard position as well. Best is still looking to trade Kyrie, Kobe White, Al Horford, among others. He's looking for more assists and steals. And then Team Seeper he got rid of Mitchell Robinson. It was kind of funny. He dropped him, and then he ended up, the irony is real here. Mitchell Robinson, a couple hours later, ends up fracturing his wrist. So tough break for Mitchell Robinson, but Seeper had just dropped him. So, but he is still looking to trade Vukovic but it's going to be a high price. Like he is definitely a high sell high type of player right now. As for Rick, he's going to wait for his team to get healthy to figure out his strengths and weaknesses. But I mean, if last week was an indicator, like he's got a lot of strengths, not a lot of weaknesses. Mike is probably still good on his team. I'm waiting to see what kind of team I have with Tatum and without Booker and Barnes. And for Mark, he's unlikely to seek a trade. He rarely does. And I don't know what's going on with Adam or Jason. Adam's got a bunch of injuries now. He would stand to try and make a trade as he really desperately needs one. And I don't know where Jason stands. And he had a good week last week, so maybe he's just good with just making playoffs for the time being. All right, so I'm going to set this up a little bit differently because for the Week 9 breakdown, I'm going to set it up differently because I just don't feel like the way it was working was good enough. Like I would take the overall season stats, but I think we're at this time of the year, we're halfway through the year, and it's time just like to see what have teams done lately, and that's what I'm going to be basing this breakdown on. So on the chart, these are all of our matchups this week. So first up, we have my team versus Metal World Peace. So again, this is kind of funny. I just realized. So last week I played Team Stewart, and he was first place in the Evens division. Now Metal World Peace is first place in the Evens division. So I'm going back-to-back weeks with the first place team in the opposite division of mine. So anyway, basing this on last week alone. So basically, what has our team's been doing lately? So Jose should be favored in field goal percentage and rebounds, while my team should be favored in free throws and points. And it could go either way in threes, assists, steals, blocks, and turnovers. So that's gonna be really interesting. So I just took a picture of this or a screenshot of this. So this is what happened on Monday night, and right now it looks like that's kind of how it's going. Right, Metal World Peace. He's got a good field goal percentage. I add the free throws for now. Now, Metal World Peace doesn't have a strong free throw shooting team, so hopefully that goes down even more, so I don't have to worry about that category, but we'll see. And then, again, either way in threes, I said. Either way in assists. Rebounds are close right now, but I don't expect that to be the whole. I don't expect that. I just don't. I'm happy. But, I mean, I'll take it, though. Like, if I win rebounds, that would be awesome, but I know Metal World Peace is really good at rebounds. I know I have Jared Allen now, who first time I played Metal World Peace, I didn't have like the number one option, Jared Allen. I had the timeshare Jared Allen, and then I also picked up I forget who I picked up. I picked up a center. Oh, I picked up DeAndre Jordan for blocks and rebounds. All right, so assist. I still like. I think I should win assist, but I mean it is in the either way category. All right, so sorry about that. And then steals can go either way, blocks can go either way, turnovers can go either way, and they're all relatively close for one day. And then I should probably be favored in points, and that's the way that looks like that's going. All right, for our next matchup, we have the Dame Show versus Team Seeker. So the cousins are going at it. I think this is like the rivalry matchup of the week, not in terms of teams, but as just in terms of like they're close and whatnot. So Rick should be favored in free throw percentage, assists, steals, blocks, and points. while Sieper is favored in field goal percentage and turnovers, and it should be a coin toss in threes and rebounds. So right now, Rick just had a great Monday. His team is hot. His team is hot, and it's just looking like that again. Maybe Sieper didn't have a lot of guys playing last night because 10 rebounds is really low. Seven turnovers with just 10 rebounds. I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know. But in any case, Rick should be the heavy favorite in this matchup as Team Seaver. He just can't buy a break with KD and Karl Anthony Towns this season. You just can't. Not yet, anyway. I expect it to happen sooner or later. All right, so next up we have is Badonkadonk versus All Great Ones. And so Mike is Badonkadonk, and he is favored in steals and points, and Jason is All Great Ones, and he is favored in field goal percentage and turnovers. So for the coin toss categories are free throws, threes, rebounds, and assists. I expect this to be a really good matchup. Like I actually think this is another matchup of the week type of potential, and it's really interesting because they're both third in their divisions. So if one of these two teams can make a big win, and the top two teams in that respective division suffer losses, and it's going to happen with me and Metal World Peace for sure. So I don't think it's going to happen with the Dame Show and Team Stewart. I don't know if it's going to happen with Team Stewart either because Mark's team's been struggling. We'll see what happens. So next up, our next matchup is Sinclair Saints, which is Adam and Team Best. So Best starting off strong. I guess Adam didn't have a lot of guys play last night, and his percentages are really bad. Yeah, he just only has 18 points, so he probably had one or two guys play. Anyway, Adam should be favored in field goal percentage, blocks, and turnovers, while Best should be favored in free throw percentage, threes, assists, and points, and should be a coin toss in rebounds and steals. And with Best putting up 11 steals yesterday, that's going to bode really well for him because Adam had none. Best could pull out a huge victory this week, and if he does, like he might not be fourth in the odds division much longer. He might be, if this 8-1 or if he goes 7-2, if that holds up, he'll be well over 500, and he'll be making a push on Jason's third spot in our division, which I could see that happening. Adam's team just has been struggling, and now it's dealing with injuries, so it's very possible. All right, and the last matchup we have is Team Stewart against Team Mark. So Mark is favored in three-pointers, rebounds, assists, blocks, and points, while Stewart is only favored in turnovers, and we have a coin toss in both percentages, field goal and free throw, and steals. So as of last night, Team Stewart looks like Team Stewart had a terrible week last week against me. Like I was just looking at his team every night, and I'm just like, yeah, like just nothing went his way. So that's why I have Mark favored in all these categories. But that's why Team Stewart is up 5-3-1, and like he just had a good night last night, 138 points, which is solid. He's not going to win blocks. 5 blocks is decent for a night, but he's not going to win that. 9 steals, very solid. Assists, I still think Mark's going to win that. Mark also has a pretty strong rebound team, so I do expect that to come back. And threes, Mark's favored, according to last week. And then just the percentage right now, Team Stewart came out swinging. So those were a coin toss. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with that matchup. I don't know. But there's basically Badonkadonk versus All Great Ones is the key matchup. If that matchup goes either way, 6-3 or better, that's going to change a division. As Metal World Peace and I are first place in our respective divisions, and even if we go 5-4, if Badonkadonk or All Great One again, if they go 6-3 and better, that's going to change our division quite a bit. Now, I expect things to get a lot closer this week because again, I'm playing Jose. We're both first in our divisions. Rick, who's second place in the Oz division, and Stewart, who's second place in the Evens division, are playing against two struggling teams. So if they could pull out big wins, I'm telling you guys, like, there's going to be a division next week where there's going to be 3 teams within a few games of one another. Like, it's going to be super close. And yeah, it's just gonna be really close, and we're gonna find out who's gonna be fighting for those play. I think after this week, we're gonna have like a clear determination on who's gonna be fighting to make the playoffs this year, and who's gonna be fighting to what division's going to be neck and neck, like neck and neck, three necks, because there's gonna be a team. I feel it. I just feel like there's gonna be a team where it's gonna be a few games within one another. All right, I talked way too much this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. And remember, make sure you hit the like button if you enjoy keeping up with my league and seeing what's going on with it. It's a very even league this year. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, as I like to drop 2 to 3 videos a week if I could come up with something interesting to drop a video about. So again, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.